Do you ever notice how people only pay attention when something's on fire? You whisper truth in their ear. They ignore you. But slap emergency on a note, sprinkle in a little divine panic, and suddenly, now they're listening. But God ordered you to open this. That's what it says, right? Sounds dramatic. Sounds urgent, but maybe the real emergency isn't out there. Maybe, just maybe, it's in you. Something's been sleeping. Something's been rotting. And now the universe had to shout through the door just to wake you up. Comfort. Now that's a sweet little liar, isn't it? Wears a warm smile, wraps you in a cozy blanket, whispers, "You're fine, stay here, don't move," and you believe it. You love it. Why wouldn't you? It's soft, it's safe, it doesn't ask questions, it doesn't judge, it lets you sleep while the world burns outside your window. But here's the twist, that comfy little space you think is protecting you, it's your cage, with velvet walls and golden locks. It's the slow drip of poison that tastes like honey. Comfort doesn't stab you in the back, no, too messy. It just lets you rot quietly, painlessly. Bit by bit, inch by inch, until the mirror doesn't recognize you anymore. Until the fire in your gut becomes a flicker, then a glow, then smoke, then nothing. People build these cozy little lives, routines, habits, all neat and tidy like shelves in a pharmacy. Wake up, brush your teeth, check your phone, smile at the mirror like you're not dying inside, go to work, do what you're told, laugh at the jokes you hate, scroll, sleep, repeat. Oh, but it feels fine. That's the trick. It feels just fine. No alarms going off, no pain, no problems. Just this smooth, numbing drip of, you're okay. But you're not okay, are you? No. Don't flinch now. Let's not pretend. You know something's wrong. You feel it, clawing around behind your ribs like a trapped animal. Like some old part of you trying to scream through the walls of your comfort zone. But you've got all these little distractions, don't you? Got your shows, your snacks, your memes, your notifications, anything to keep you from hearing the truth too loud. See, comfort doesn't just lie to you. It makes you lie to yourself. And that, that's the best trick of all. Because when you believe the lie, you protect it. You'll defend it. You'll bite anyone who tries to pull you out of it. Leave me alone. I'm fine. I'm happy. Sure you are. Just like a prisoner who's redecorated his cell and calls it a condo. You know why people don't change, why they don't grow? It's not because they're lazy or dumb or broken. No, it's because they're comfortable. That's all it takes, a little warmth, a little routine, a little taste of just enough to keep you from chasing what could be. Comfort is the leash they tie around your dreams. Makes you believe the fight isn't worth it. Makes you settle, makes you sit still, and you'll justify it. You'll come up with every pretty excuse in the world. It's not the right time. I'm not ready. What if I fail? What if it's worse out there? Worse than what, exactly? This slow mash of death you've been calling life? This quiet surrender you dressed up as peace. Let's be real, you weren't born for this. For playing small, for fitting in, for being a well-behaved, agreeable little ghost in a suit. There was fire in you once. Still is. But comfort keeps it contained, tames it, puts it in a nice little box and says, shh, no need for all that. You're doing fine just the way you are. And people buy that. Every day they trade their hunger for habit, trade their dreams for a little security, trade their soul for something that feels stable, even if it's killing them. They sit still long enough and they start calling it peace. But it's not peace. It's sedation. It's silence. It's death in disguise. See, comfort isn't the villain with the knife in the dark. No, no. It's the smiling friend who holds your hand while you slowly disappear. It pats your back while you settle, nods politely while you bury yourself alive. And the worst part? You thank it for doing it. Do you ever notice how the universe doesn't whisper so much as scream, and yet no one hears it? Or maybe they do hear it, they just pretend they don't? That's the fun part. People walk around asking for a sign, like the whole damn sky hasn't been blinking neon red for years. They beg for clarity, for direction, for purpose, and then, when the message shows up, clear as daylight, they squint and say, probably just a coincidence. See, most people don't want truth, they want confirmation. They want the universe to agree with their little plans, their safe choices, their tidy excuses. But truth? Truth doesn't come wrapped in pretty paper. It doesn't knock politely. No. It kicks the door in, drenched in blood and lightning, shouting, "Get up! It's time!" But what do? They change the channel, put on a podcast, scroll, block it out with noise and caffeine, and maybe tomorrow. They treat signs like spam emails, mark as read, delete, not now. But life doesn't send messages for fun. It doesn't just toss signals around like confetti. Every warning, every gut feeling, every moment that makes your chest tighten or your hands sweat, it means something. But people, oh people, they've mastered the art of pretending they didn't see it. You felt it, didn't you? That one night when you were lying there in the dark and something twisted in your gut. That wasn't indigestion, sweetheart. That was the call. That was the knock. But you rolled over, pulled the blanket higher, whispered maybe later. And the sign? It didn't go away, it just waited. It always waits. But each time it comes back, it gets louder, scarier, harder to ignore. And still, you pretend. That's the joke. You don't need more signs. You've had plenty. The job you hate, the friend who left, the dream you keep having about something else, something more, the mornings where you wake up tired even though you slept, the little flashes of panic when you see someone else doing what you were meant to do. But hey, ignore it. Just a phase. You're fine, right? People treat their intuition like background noise. They know when something's off. They know when they're lying to themselves. But they've been taught to value comfort over clarity. Smile instead of scream. Numb it down instead of face it. So they float. Eyes open, heart closed, spirit locked in the basement. Meanwhile, the signs keep coming. And every time they ignore one, the next one hits a little harder. Oh, and they'll talk about it too. It's weird, I keep seeing this number, I keep hearing the same phrase everywhere. I've been having this strange dream, but instead of listening, they Google it. Like truth's gonna come in a neat little bullet point list on some self-help blog. The signs aren't weird, they're warnings. They're sirens. But people want magic tricks, not mirrors. They want certainty before they leap. But the signs don't give certainty. They give nudges, shoves, slaps to the face. And if that doesn't work, wrecking balls. But even the wrecking balls don't wake some people up. They lose everything and say, "Why did this happen to me? Not to you, darling, for you." That was the megaphone. That was life shouting. You missed the last 20 messages, so now we're tearing the roof off. And still, they look for someone to blame. They think signs are supposed to be nice, inspiring, a gentle breeze under angel wings. But signs are raw, ugly, uncomfortable. They're not made to soothe. They're made to shake, to disrupt, to burn away the nonsense. And if you're too busy keeping up appearances, playing normal, staying safe, you're gonna miss them all. People are addicted to ignoring the obvious. Because once you acknowledge the sign, once you see it, really see it, you can't unsee it. And then you have to do something, and oh, action is terrifying. It means risk, it means change, it means no more hiding behind the "I didn't know" excuse. You know what wakes people up? Not peace, not comfort, not polite little reminders, no urgency, panic, chaos, that wild twitching feeling that something's not right and time's running out. That's what gets the blood pumping. That's what makes the average sleepwalker snap their eyes open and scream, "What the hell is going on?" Because nothing makes you move like the ground shaking beneath your feet. You walk around like everything's fine, smile painted on, same old routine, alarm clock, coffee, traffic, fake small talk. You tell yourself you're in control. But the truth is, you're just floating. And the only reason you're still floating is because life hasn't shoved your head under the water yet. But when it does, oh, when it does, you'll learn real fast how fast you can move when you think you're drowning. You ever seen someone find out they've got a few months to live? They start living like maniacs. Suddenly everything matters. Every sunset's beautiful. Every conversation's honest. Every second's a bloody miracle. But why does it take a countdown for that to happen? Why do people only feel their life when it's slipping away? Because urgency strips the mask off. It tears the lie of tomorrow into little shreds and shoves it down your throat. No more waiting, no more planning, no more someday. It's now, or it's never. People need that jolt, that electric slap, the wake-up call they never asked for. And the funny part? They usually ignore the first one. And the second, maybe even the third, but eventually something hits hard enough. The betrayal, the loss, the breakdown, the mirror cracking right in front of them. That's when they feel it. That heat in their chest, that sharp whisper, "Move now." Run. Beautiful in a sick way. watching someone light up from the inside because they finally realize they've been asleep their whole life. They start talking different, breathing different. They stop caring about nonsense and start chasing fire, all because something snapped. Something shattered their bubble of safety and made them look around like, wait a second, what the hell have I been doing? See, urgency doesn't play nice. It doesn't knock. It kicks the door in with a grin and says, time's up. And that's when the truth shows up, dripping and snarling and real. That's when people remember who they are. Because when the clock's ticking loud enough, you stop pretending. You stop lying to yourself. You don't have the luxury. You either act or get buried under your own excuses. The real tragedy? Most people wait for the emergency. They need it to move. Need the heartbreak, the accident, the screaming voice from the heavens saying, open this now. Otherwise, they just keep strolling through life like it's a waiting room, heads down, souls locked up. But once that emergency hits, they change. The gears grind, the engine roars. Suddenly, the fire they've been suppressing kicks in and burns through everything that doesn't matter. You hear people say all the time, that moment changed my life. Yeah, because it forced you to stop, to feel, to face the reality that this whole thing ends, that time doesn't wait, that your chances don't come with reruns. And once you feel that urgency, that wild pulsing energy tearing through your skin, you can't go back. It's a switch, and once it flips, you either run through the flames or you sit in the ashes. No middle ground, no safety net, just you and the now. The beautiful, terrifying now that demands everything from you. No masks, no delays, no more when I'm ready, because ready never shows up. It's always almost, it's always later, until something punches you in the chest and says now, or never. And that's the part no one tells you. The emergency isn't always out there. It's not always the crash, the call, the collapse. Sometimes the emergency is you. Your spirit suffocating, your fire flickering, your dreams choking in the dark while you scroll through distractions, pretending you've got forever. You don't. Urgency reminds you. Urgency grabs your face, stares into your soul, and laughs. It doesn't wait for you to feel brave. It doesn't care about your schedule. It just arrives. Wild, uninvited, necessary. Fear. Ha! Now that's a clever little beast. Doesn't wear a mask. Doesn't carry a knife. No. It dresses up like logic, like reason, like that helpful voice in your head that just wants you to be safe, tells you to wait, tells you to think twice, tells you it's dangerous out there, that you're better off staying right where you are. And people believe it. Oh, they love to believe it, because fear is comfortable. Yeah, that's the joke. Fear feels familiar. But you know what fear really is? It's the bouncer at the door of your potential. It's the soft hand on your shoulder that says, not tonight, pal. Go home. And you do. Again and again, you walk away from the thing you were born to do, because fear dressed it up as a risk. dressed it up as rejection, dressed it up as failure, wrapped it in just enough doubt to make you think, maybe I'm not ready, maybe later, maybe never. See, fear doesn't scream, it whispers. That's what makes it dangerous. It doesn't slap you. It leans in close and plants seeds. What if they laugh at you? What if you fall flat? What if you're not good enough? And you feed it, you water it, you let it grow roots until it wraps around your spine and turns your courage into stone, and just like that, you're frozen. But you call it being careful. You call it being realistic. What a beautifully wrapped coffin. You build your life around fear without even noticing. You choose the job you hate because chasing the one you want feels like jumping off a cliff. You stay with people who drain you because the thought of being alone terrifies you more than misery. You keep your dreams in a jar because the world out there, it's sharp, it's loud, it's full of teeth. Better to stay small, quiet, predictable, safe. Safe. But safe is where fire dies. Safe is where dreams go to rot. Safe is a padded room with no windows and no exits. And fear? Oh, fear is the warden. Keeps the door locked while you decorate your cell with fake smiles. And I'm fine. 'Cause if you pretend long enough, maybe you'll forget there was ever a door in the first place. You want to know why people never become who they're meant to be? It's not because they're incapable. It's not because they don't have talent or vision or fire. It's because they let fear drive. Let it grip the wheel with its cold little fingers and steer them straight into a life that feels almost right. Not painful, not joyful, just numb enough to tolerate. That's fear's masterpiece. Almost. And the worst part? You think fear is protecting you. Like it's your guardian angel, like it's keeping you from the wolves. But it is the wolf, just dressed in sheep's skin. It keeps you from writing the words, singing the song, starting the thing, making the leap. It shows you 1,000 ways it could all go wrong, but never tells you what happens if it goes right. Because that's the real terror, isn't it? Success, fulfillment, power. What if you actually step into who you are? Then what? No more excuses. No more hiding. Just raw, exposed truth. That's the fear no one talks about. You think fear is only there when you're trembling, when your hands shake and your voice cracks. No. Sometimes fear wears a suit, smiles in the mirror, says, "This is good enough," says, "You've got time," says, "Don't rock the boat," but you feel it, don't you? That itch behind your thoughts, that twist in your stomach when you see someone living the life you keep postponing. That little jolt when you almost go for it and then don't. Fear doesn't need to chain you up. It just needs you to sit still. Needs you to overthink. Needs you to stay so busy surviving that you forget to live. It wins when you choose silence over expression, safety over risk, familiarity over greatness. And the irony? Fear promises control, but it's the one pulling the strings while you play puppet, nodding along to its lullaby. And it hides best in routine, in predictability, in the daily grind. You think you're in charge, think you're making the smart choice, but really you're just moving in circles, convincing yourself it's a path. Fear made a map for you, and you followed it, never asking where it led, never asking if the destination was even yours to begin with. You already know what you're avoiding. You do. Don't play dumb. Don't act surprised. That thing that sits in the back of your head, tapping, tapping, tapping on the inside of your skull, that's it. That's the thing. And you've buried it under layers of to-do lists, responsibilities, fake smiles, maybe even a few self-help books to make it feel like you're working on it. But deep down, you know, you've always known. People love to pretend they're lost, that they're searching, that they just need a little more time, a little more clarity, a little more whatever. But what they're really doing is hiding, playing hide and seek with their own soul, running in circles just fast enough to avoid the mirror. Because the truth isn't hard to find, it's right there, burning a hole through your chest every time you ignore it. You can feel it when things get quiet, when the noise fades, when there's no one left to impress. That's when it starts whispering again, reminding you, poking you, laughing at you. You already know what it is. That thing you dream about and then dismiss. That version of you that shows up in flashes when you're alone, when the mask slips, when you're just you for a second, and then, bam, you push it away. Tell yourself it's unrealistic, impractical, too late, too hard. You come up with 1,000 reasons why it can't be done, all dressed up in nice little rational phrases like, not right now, or I have responsibilities. You call it maturity, growth, wisdom. It's not. It's fear in a business suit. But the thing is still there, waiting, watching, getting louder. It doesn't go away just because you ignore it. You can't numb it out with busy work or social media or overpriced coffee. You can't drown it in fake goals and Instagram quotes. It's wired into you, built in. It is you. And every time you dodge it, you shrink a little. You lose a piece. You trade fire for convenience, passion for predictability, soul for silence. You want to know why you feel stuck? Why nothing feels quite right? It's not because the world is broken. It's not because you're cursed. It's because you've been dragging around this giant bag of almost tried, almost started, almost spoke up, almost changed. You're living in the shadow of what you refuse to face, carrying the weight of your own denial. And it's heavy, isn't it? Not just physically, but spiritually, like trying to run with cement in your veins. And the sick part? You get used to it. That dull ache, that slow decay. You learn to live with the constant buzzing of a dream denied. It becomes background noise. You laugh, you party, you post, you smile, but every now and then, when you're alone, when the lights are off, when your reflection looks too honest, you feel it, that little tug, that whisper, you know, and you do. You know the conversation you've been avoiding, the decision you've been postponing, the leap you were supposed to take before you got scared and built a nice little wall around your heart. You pretend it's complicated, but it's not. It's just uncomfortable. Truth usually is. It rubs against all the lies you've been feeding yourself. Doesn't care about your story, doesn't wait for your schedule to clear up. It just stands there, holding the door open, waiting for you to stop pretending. And don't give me that "I don't know where to start" garbage. You know exactly where to start, you just don't want to. Because starting means admitting that you've been lying. That you've known the path all along and didn't want to walk it. Because it's hard. Because it's risky. Because it's real. And real is terrifying, isn't it? Real means responsibility. Real means no one else to blame. You've built this whole life on avoiding that one thing. This whole identity, this performance, this routine. You've convinced yourself it's noble to suffer quietly, to endure, to wait for the right moment. But you're not enduring, you're hiding. And the thing is still there, still burning, still watching. Every step you take that isn't toward it is a step away from who you really are. You can feel it. You've always felt it.